By the end of this video, you'll know how to use motion matching inside of Unreal Engine and implement it into any of your projects. We're going to be going from the default state machine into motion matching and using 8-way locomotion. As you can see in the background right here, we are currently using the rifle animations and walking and sprinting in all directions. And with the press of just one button, we can go back to unarmed locomotion and sprint and walk in all directions. This should be the easiest motion matching tutorial on YouTube. That was the aim of the video. So yeah, let's not babble on. Let's actually get started. Okay, so I'm just going to go new project and third person for this one. And rename this YouTube for motion matching YouTube. Okay, so here we are in the third person template. And if we just walk around, as you can see, we're not using motion matching because we can actually go to characters, mannequins, and anims, unarmed, and check the animation blueprint. And as you can see here, we are using the state machine. This is not the motion matching. We actually do need to enable that from the plugins. So we're going to go to edit, go to plugins, and search for pose. And which one is it? Pose search, like this. And then the other one was trajectory, and it's motion trajectory, like that. Perfect. Let's just restart the engine, and here we go. We now have all the tools we need to set up motion matching in Unreal Engine. So let's go to our third person character, go to blueprints, open up UBP third person character, and let's just dock it up here. Right, we already have our movement and our look input, so we don't need to set them up, which is pretty good. And right here on the Anim class, as you can see, our character is currently in a idle animation. We're going to just remove this, just clear it, because we're not going to be using it, and then click compile. We're going to be using motion matching, obviously. So the first thing we need to do is go to the content browser, and I'm going to right click in here and create an animation blueprint. Click SK mannequin, and here we go. I'm just going to rename this ABPMM for motion matching. And here is where we would usually put the main states and then state machines. Okay, so let's just search for motion matching, and we're going to choose this node right here, motion matching pose search. Okay, from this one we're going to need a pose history, like that, and then we can just plug this in. And now you can see that it is actually asking us a question: what is the trajectory of our character? So we're going to have to set that up in a second. And this one is asking for a database. So first, let's go and set up the database. So let's go to animation, motion matching, and pose search schema. This one. Click your skeleton and rename this PSS underscore motion matching, just like that. Open this up and just click save. Then we're going to open up the content drawer again. Do the same. We're going to go to animation, motion matching, and pose search database. Now we can choose the schema that we just created, like that. Rename this PSD underscore MM, just for motion matching. Later on, what we'll be doing is changing this to walking, running, jumping, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Now we can open this up. This is where we drag and drop all of our animations. So if we actually implemented this animation blueprint into our character, any animation here would be potentially chosen. So, for example, this one, where we are jogging forward with a rifle. Or it could be, I don't know, a pistol walking right. And the way the engine decides to pick each animation is through the trajectory, which you've seen in the intro. Let me just drag this over here so you can actually see it. This line right here under us. So if we're walking forward, the engine is thinking, well, we're going to go that far forward, so we're going to use a walking animation. But if the line gets a little bit longer, we're going to use a sprinting one. And then if we sprint to the right a bit, we're going to use this one, and then we're going to walk, or we're going to strafe backwards. That's basically how it works. And if we stop dead still, if we have any turn animations, it'll be like, right, well, we're turning 45 degrees, or 180 or whatever, and it'll use that correct turn in place animation. Same with jumping. We would use the correct jump animation depending on how high we jump up in the air or how long we stay in the air. Hopefully that made a little bit of sense. That's how I kind of understand it. So let me just drag this back over here and let's get started. So let me just delete these and let's set up our animations. So I'm going to go to mannequins, anims, and for starters, we're going to do unarmed. And we just need an idle one. Here we go. We now have an idle animation. But if we go into the BP third person character and assign this blueprint, animation blueprint, like this, what's going to happen? We stay in this T pose. That is because we are, for one, we haven't picked our motion matching database, which we actually need to do here. And it will snap into the idle pose. But when we move around, it's obviously going to stay just like this. And it's not going to use any of our animations because we don't have them. So you might be thinking, well, we can just add a walk forward animation. And this should work. But let's try it. If we click play, we're probably going to stay in the idle animation. And we are. Why is that? That's because we haven't set up or given it an input for this trajectory. And we can't just, do anything here or search trajectory like this. So we need to set it up in the event graph. The way we do that is drag from target pawn owner and search for cast to BP third person character. Hook that in just like that. And then we can make this a variable by dragging out and promoting it to a variable. Then we can actually get our trajectory. But it's not showing up. Why is that? It's because we need to go into here and actually add this as a component. Character trajectory, like that. And then we compile, and we can actually drag out and search trajectory. Get the trajectory, and drag out again, promote it to a variable. That is basically all we need to do. And we can now compile, go back to the Anim graph, right click on this right here, and where it says binding, click that, and go to BP third person character and trajectory. Sweet. Now we have all that set up and we compile. When we run forward, we should actually run forward. There we go. If we run to the side, it's going to do the same one because we haven't set up the correct camera inputs. So our camera should always be facing forward if we want to do strafing. But right now this would work. So in our BP third person character, I'm just going to go to the camera boom, or I'm going to actually rename this to spring arm, because most people will have it called spring arm. And just check these settings right here. Use pawn control rotation, inherit, all this good stuff. And let's click here and search for orient, rotation to movement, and make sure this is disabled. Now we can compile and play, and we will always be facing forward. Now, like I said a minute ago, we have an animation for going forward. We don't have one for going left, right, backwards, and all the other directions. So how can we tell which way the engine is trying to predict? Well, we can click play here, go to the console command, and search for trajectory. Ah, there we go. It's the character one. So that's all you need to do. You just need to type in trajectory, and we're going to click on the A character one, debug, and then just do a space and a 1. That will give us this. Okay, I didn't realize when I was recording this, but I obviously had my overlay on. So in the bottom left corner, it will say CMD, and then this is just what you need to type. It should come up automatically once you type a bit of it, and then just do space 1 at the end. Let's get back to the video. Actually, wait. While I've got your attention, please check out the Patreon. It has all the project files for all the tutorials I make on my channel, and it helps support me. So I appreciate it a lot. Thank you very much to all my 1,000 members. You're amazing. Now let's actually get back to the video. Line underneath, and as you can see, it's thinking, oh well, we're going forward, we'll play the walk forward pistol one. But we don't have any other way to predict the others. We don't have any other way to predict the other animations because we don't have them. So let's just go into. So let's actually go into the walk animations, and we're just going to select them all, drag them all in, click save, and play, and let's see what happens now. We now wait for this to load up. There we go. We can actually walk in all directions. Beautiful. Let me just get rid of this pistol one. And we can save that. So now we have motion matching working inside our project. Well, as you can see, our camera is not following the character, which it should be. So we need to go to the BP third person character again and search for use controller rotation yaw and enable it. Click compile, click compile, click save, and we can play again. And now when we move around, we are moving the camera and the player around at the same time, and we are now strafing properly. Okay. Now, what would happen if we wanted to sprint? Well, we could just add in all the sprinting animations. So let's go and do that. And if we okay, so before we add all the sprint animations, I'm just going to press on one of these animations and click Control and A. So you can show all the different directions that we can currently use and actually use the animations in. Now, if I select I'll select one of these animations and drag it in, and you'll see the difference. So let's just select all. As you can see, this one animation is going a little bit further, and it has a line which is a lot further. Meaning that we can actually use all these animations because they're using a different trajectory. So let's drag this in, select all, and you'll see we now have 2 animations for each direction, one walking and one running. So what will happen if we actually go into this level and try and play? When we move forward, we're always going to be using the running animation because our max walk speed is set at 600. That is our running speed. How do we get around this? Well, let's go to the event graph and right click, search for left shift. And then once we press left shift, we're going to set the max walk speed, but we need the character movement like this. Set max walk speed, and we're going to copy and paste it just like this. This will be our sprinting, like that. Oops. And we're going to set the max walk speed to 600, which is currently what it's at, and this one to 400, like that. Okay. Now we're already at 600, so we need to change this down to 400. So basically, what I've just done is I've changed our maximum walking speed to 400, so that we're always walking around at a speed of 400. So we're always walking around at a speed of 400. Then when we press shift, it's going to change the max walk speed to 600 until we let go. So let's just test this out by let's go into the level and play, see what happens. So here we are, we're walking, and then when I press left shift, we're now sprinting, and we can sprint in all the different directions. And we are using right now the running animations. When I let go of shift, we will now go back to walking, just like this. So that's all well and good, but what about if we, for example, had a character with a rifle or a pistol, or a character that was crouching? Then what would we do? Well, we'd need to go to the animation blueprint here, and we could go and get our PSD motion matching. I'm going to rename this to walk run, like that. Okay, and we're going to duplicate it. This one is going to be rifle walk run. So we're going to do the exact same thing, just with rifle animations, basically. So let's open up the rifle one, and we can delete all of these animations like that. Then we can go to the rifle folder, and we need a idle animation. So let's just search for idle. I think it's like idle ADS or something. This one will do. So here we are. Our character is in idle. And then we need the rest of the animations. So we need the walking animations. We can just drag all them in. And then we need the jogging animations, like that. I'm going to drag all them in. Now we have a full set of rifle animations in every single direction. Now let's go and hook this up and see if it works. So I'm just going to copy this node and replace this here. So this one's out of use right now. Now let's select walk, run rifle, compile, and let's see what happens. We're now getting this weird glitchy error, but this is kind of working. So we're using all the rifle animations, and we can also sprint with our rifle. What is going on with the animations though? Let's try and find out. Okay, so we're using this ADS aim offset. We shouldn't be using this one. This is the wrong one. We needed just a normal rifle idle one. We're going to use this one here. Yeah, that'll do. Now we shouldn't get any of them errors. Oops. There we go. And we have our idle. We can actually walk around with our character, and we can also sprint using all these different animations. Now, what about if, here's another scenario, if we, for example, changed our weapon, or we dropped a weapon. So say we have a weapon in our hands, and then we was like, oh, well, I'm going to drop this weapon on the floor. Then what would we do? Well, we could actually just blend poses by bool, if you only wanted to use 2. And if we do have a rifle, or we do have a weapon, we can use the true pose, because we do have a weapon. That would be true. And false would just be walk, run, the unarmed one. Now we do need a variable for this. We need a value for it. So let me just go over it again. When we do have a rifle, we'll use this one. When we don't, we'll use this one. Right? Let's go and set up this variable. I'm just going to use the 1 key. Just imagine we are equipping a weapon using the key 1. Like that. And we're just going to set a new variable by just, making one as weapon. Like that. So when we press 1, we'll just set has weapon to true. And when we press it again, we're going to do false. So we actually need a flip-flop. So the first time I press it, it's going to do this. Second time, it's going to do that. Sweet. Then we need to go into the animation blueprint, the event graph, and we're just going to add a new variable to here. We can drag out of as BP third person character and search for has weapon. Like that. Then out of this, promote to variable and just hook it up. Sweet. Now we can actually access that variable by dragging it here, choose get, and just plug it in. There we go. So now when we press 1, it'll switch between having a weapon and not having a weapon. Like this. And it will use the animations accordingly. So we're now using all of the walk-in rifle animations. Now we're using the sprinting rifle animations. And then we press 1, and we go back to walk-in. Oh my god. And then we can actually use the sprint. So there is a different way to choose different animations using motion matching. And that is with the use of a chooser. But in this video, I'm not going to do it unless people find it really interesting. We can actually have like 100 different PSDs for every single thing that we do. But if you want to see that, make sure you leave it in the comments below. I'm going to keep this video short and simple. Make sure you like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to see more content like this. And I will catch you next time. Peace.